Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and today we are going to be talking about build orders. Now there are a lot of people out there that have been watching my StarCraft II study episodes and they're like, okay, build orders, that is all cool and all, but why? Like, one broad question, why would you want to follow a build order? Why would you not want to just throw down a hatchery first and then follow it up with a spawning pool a little bit later, and then get a gas geyser eventually when you kind of feel like it? Well, this is all, like, today we are going to be talking about this because it has to do with everything that Zerg early game is about. As a Zerg player, there are two kinds of build orders in general. There's the first one that is pretty obvious. You want to be going for a timing attack. For example, with roaches, zerglings and banelings, that sort of thing. The build order in that case is leading up to that timing attack. But when you want to be playing defensively, why would you not just throw down all the buildings kind of when you feel like it? Now, it might seem obvious, but there is a certain mindset that you have to have as a Zerg player. First of all build orders as a Zerg player that are not designed to be a counter-attack, or a timing attack rather, are usually evolved around droning as hard as you can until max saturation on 3 base without dying. That is basically the mentality that you are going for in every single build order as a Zerg player. So what you are aiming for is to just make as many drones as you possibly can without ever dying. Now this might be Zerg versus Pro Rolls versus a 4 gate on 2 base timing. It might be versus a 8 gate on 2 base timing, Stargate, robotics facility, robotics like Immortal Sentry, all in, all kinds of stuff. Everything is designed to squeeze out as many drones as you possibly can without dying to some kind of attack. Now this might seem very obvious, but it is something that is really hard to comprehend. I personally am having a lot of troubles with it as well. What happens quite often when you are following a build order is that, for example, you know that you probably should be making more drones right now, but you feel a little bit threatened and you somehow squeeze in like 10 Zerglings. Let's just do a little bit of math on that, okay? 10 Zerglings could have been 5 drones. 5 drones mined for about, I believe, 0.8 mineral a second, which would mean that you lose about 4 minerals a second, if I'm not mistaken, which would add up until 240 minerals in a minute that you're losing out by creating 10 Zerglings. Now let's say his push isn't coming for another 2-3 minutes. What happens? Well, you basically lost yourself a good 600-700 minerals. I know you should never do math in a video, but it doesn't really matter. It's huge. It actually counts up incredibly fast, and you can never underestimate the fact that you are creating units for absolutely nothing. So, since it is obvious that you are like making as many drones just to make more stuff a little bit later in the game, let's talk a little bit about build orders themselves. First of all, every step in every build order has a certain use. For example, 9 Overlord is obviously a little bit more economically focused than a 8 Overlord, for example. But why, for example, does ST Life mostly open up with a extractor trick with an Overlord at 10 supply? Why does he do that? It doesn't make much sense. Well, there are a bunch of reasons, and every single step in each and every build order has a purpose. 15 hatchery is safer than a 16 or 17 hatchery for 2 Rex, for example. 6-minute double gas geysers in Zerg versus Protoss are usually going to save you versus 4-gate aggression, versus gateway aggression, versus all kinds of stuff. And it is extremely important to follow each and every step in every build order and not delay anything by 10 seconds. That is one of the reasons, or one of the many reasons, why I'm emphasizing build orders so incredibly much. But obviously, build orders aren't everything, especially as a Zerg player. You also need to be playing very adaptive, but I would advise you to start off with everything by doing a certain build order. I've made videos for every matchup, multiple videos for every matchup, on how to play it. But those videos are really just meant as a starting point for how to play each matchup. If you actually are doing the build order pretty much perfectly and you die to a certain kind of push, you should always be going into the replay and checking out what you could have done better. For example, let's say you are doing a Zerg versus Siren build order and you realize that he is going for a 2 base and you just throw down your 3rd base at 6 minutes. And all of a sudden around the 7-8 minute mark, he pushes out with like 4 Hellions and 10 Marines and you just die straight up. That is a good loss right there. If you've been droning the entire time and you've been following the build order perfectly, you have been doing the correct build order. However, you are dying to a certain kind of push. What you want to be doing in that certain situation is just open up the replay, check the game out why you lost, and actually realize what you could do better next time, and then never lose to that again. That is like the best way to improve. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully this cleared up some confusion out there. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!